this?
I'd like to get by now.
Yes, I'm here.
I'd like to buy weed now.
Scott, you saw that photo I sent you with our cabin from Ryan?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, he burned it on some wood.
Oh, did he? I think I did see that. Yeah, I did.
You saw his earth box? Just built that earth box.
Oh, yeah. Very cool. Look at that. Yeah. How's that mouth?
I got a fat face. I got none tongue.
I have a fat face. Come on, at least you got a beard to cover it.
Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Just the Mic podcast. I am one of your hosts, Mr. Scott Geyser, and with me I have Miss Colleen over here and Thadley Cranstonite over here.
Long time no see.
We're back.
We are just sitting here.
Yes.
We've been waiting. Frank is just taking forever. I don't know what's taking us now. He's dropping his kid off, his nephew or niece off at
You're like
basketball.
his kid.
His goat.
Oh,
I just got you talking because Frank's
well, you were like, hey, is Frank dating anybody? Got any kids? And that's where my brain is now. So when he gets here, we're going to all we're not even going to talk any science, no cool projects that he's working on. All we're going to talk about is his love life. And we're going to set up like a dating auction for Frank, a non-profit date with Frank.
What if he comes in and just like at break and I have to leave and I just like leave?
What if he
like,
walks in with
screw you, Frank.
What if he walks in with like a little baby gator in one hand and like a girl around his arm in another?
I believe the gator part.
And then like hands the lady at the gator and just says, "Here you go, lady." And then like they have this little conversation. He like does a little like gator chirp.
Because that sounds exactly like the way Frank rolls.
And just sits down and, well, hello there, guys. I only got about 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of important things. He's like Neil deGrasse Robb or something.
Oh my God, you did.
He's really important. Hey,
Oh,
there he
is he here?
Oh, buddy, see, we just need to fill a
my
little
God.
time. See, and now we're gonna get to pop on in and talk about all the good stuff. And
I've been busy.
I know you have, girl. You
Work's awesome right now. I love my job, man. It's
love that
so
you love
weird because it's like sometimes I don't have to do anything, but then sometimes I have to do a
I
lot.
love that you get to work with Rob too.
Yeah, I see
It's
him.
really cool.
Like, it's weird. I didn't know I'd be talking to him literally like every week. And so tonight I have to leave early and fold 150 shirts and get them in the tap rooms tomorrow morning.
Oh man, the dogs are giving Frank the old Frank Robb welcome.
This is not unusual.
I'm just gonna let it roll. I'm just gonna let this whole thing happen.
Frank
Yeah.
dressed up for me and everything. You look wonderful.
Hey guys.
Good to see you.
It's our Frank.
Give Loki just a little howdy doody, and then she'll leave you.
Okay, so Frank is here. We're saying hi to the dogs.
He's on this mic here.
Get you a seat.
He brought an alligator in with him. It's pretty surprising. Dad, don't touch it. Dad, your finger. Oh my God.
He's fixing to tell you about it, though.
You're ready to rock. Ready to roll. You can adjust right here.
Anyways, I can't wait to talk about Foo Fighter concert again.
Yeah.
It was very weird though. So I went to the Foo Fighter concert while they're talking.
Okay.
And so new drummer.
On the beach.
Yeah. I did get to see Van Halen's son Wolfgang. He he was off to the side and he did like this solo, but Dave was telling everyone he was doing the solo and like cut to it. That was real cool. But like I appreciate Josh Freese so much for what he's doing. But it was like so sad for me and like it was just felt different because like a lot of the people there, like it was a festival, so they weren't necessarily Foo Fighter fans. And so like I'm super emotional, like losing my shit. And these people can't even clap to the beat.
Yeah, I'll get you that in there. 1 second.
A lot of frat bro boys. That was weird. Pushing me around, like trying to push me around, like I wasn't there.
What, like crowd surfing?
Like, yeah, and
Mosh pit.
I had gotten a good spot. And so like they're like 2 songs in and guys just push through and they'll push in front of a girl and stand right in front of you. So finally, like this last guy did it and I was like, I've been here for 2 fucking hours. Get out of the way. But it's like, and there's a young couple next to me. He's like, I got your back. But yeah, you don't get in between me and Dave Grohl.
Spicy.
I waited 2 years.
Let's do a little. Everything working all right?
No, sir. Can't hear.
So nothing works.
Can't hear anybody or can't hear myself either.
Tell me if you can hear anything now.
I can hear you. I can't not hear me, but I can hear you.
All right.
Do you have a mullet?
I don't think so. Do I? No, now I can.
Is that better?
No. There's no.
Oh, it looks short. Oh, okay. It
There's
looks
no
short
mullet
there.
included. I promise.
It's related.
It's
Second cousin to a mullet.
they're related. I hope they're not related, and it's not meant to be a mullet. Now, what's on my face? That's a whole different story.
You might be mulletizing.
God.
Too.
It feels like I never left.
Yeah, no.
You guys are still as nerdy as ever.
There's no mulleting
It's
going
been a
on.
while since this whole group's been together.
For real.
It really has.
Colleen, it's been like a month. Frank, it's been, forever. I get to talk to you on the phone every once in a while now.
That's true. Yep.
Grace me with your voice here and there.
That's goes both directions, Bubba.
I know. I love it, dude. I love you. It's
I love you too,
It's
Bubba.
great to see you, man. I know you're busy
It's nice
today.
to see everybody.
You look
Yeah,
really
man.
good, man.
Yeah, thank you.
He's all dressed up.
I know.
He's got on a jacket and a tie. And
Take
no
the
shoes,
tie.
though, guys, okay?
Well, yeah, I left those in the truck. They weren't actually shoes, let's be honest. They were flip-flops.
We predicted you were going to come in with like a baby gator and stuff.
Ow! Sorry.
We just clanked headphones.
We did. Clank, clank, double drink.
So T, how's it going, buddy?
Super good.
Yeah.
Enjoying life. And the studio, I was just telling Colleen, it's sealed up. And
Yeah, man, it looked so good when I was by the other day.
yeah, now it's time for Cable Fest, Wire Fest, Connection
It's
Fest.
that time.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
You hate that
Let's
part, Scott.
let's plan. I'm actually kind of a little better at it than I used to be, so maybe I can help you.
Nice.
Solid.
That we'll get a little weekend time, like some evening or morning,
Yes.
whenever, and we'll rock it out, man.
Cool.
Heck yeah. So good to see everybody. Episode 199.
199.
What?
So we're almost to
Damn.
200 there.
199. Are you
We've had a really three really good weeks of downloads, breaking that 1,000-week barrier kind of.
You don't
a couple
need me.
times. So it was real nice to see, We had
Yeah.
Corey on last week, who we did the NFTs with and did the galactic grams and all that kind of stuff with.
That was a
and
good one.
he's setting up an art studio over off of Hopkins and 50. In that little plaza, used to be like a little a thrift store there, a leather store on the
Yes,
corner.
that's near the
across
CrossFit
from-
gym.
I think it's Eads or Stan Eads and them. I think they're places across from there. And gonna have like do
Went to
art,
school with
and have like classes and have people come in and do art. If you wanted to come in and get a painting done of your family or whatever, then he'd sit down with you and
That would be cool.
work it out. And it was really cool to see him, T. So and he
He's in
missed you.
He's in the, I miss him too. He is a cool dude. He's in the Black Cat coffee place, right?
Yep. His art is in what's the Bravo Taco
Oh,
on Garden
Yeah.
Street.
Yeah.
It's in the Black Cat Coffee. It's in a few other places. I mean, he's in like museums.
he's
and
very
places.
talented. Black Cat Coffee. That cat on the side of the building is so cute. He did that?
I don't know if he did that, but inside there's a bunch of like animal portraits.
Oh, okay.
It kind of flared
And
up.
he has a little a signature that he does. It's on his paintings and all that. You see, I was kind of cool. Like I was coming out of the bathroom actually at Bravo Taco. I'm like, oh, that's Corey.
Yeah.
So jealous of people that can like paint and do that. Cause like I struggle. Like I
Yeah.
just want to follow directions and do something. Like I don't want to have to like, okay, happy trees, Bob Ross in it.
Yeah, it's insane. So it was really cool to see Corey, and we're gonna probably do a podcast at his studio at some point. Maybe even doing some art, throwing some mics up, and kind of laughing at our attempts.
I wonder if he could teach me how to like not be so intimidated painting.
You got
That'd be
some
really
art
cool.
on your back, right?
Oh, well, my shirt, yeah. We have new shirts for the brewery.
you
Now that I'm doing the merch. And I went to Heather with the design. I was like, I want like the Vans, like the checker Vans.
It looks
she
really
made-
good.
It's a really cool logo. Now we have
post
a
the
pocket
episode,
tee
Share an image of it on the post.
in the back, like has 321, like Brick, Space Coast, and all that stuff. It's really cool.
Good job.
We have camo hats with the orange Playlina on
You're
it.
killing
now.
it with that. Mm-hmm. You're loving it.
It's
I
so
can
much
see it.
fun.
Yeah,
So much fun.
I love that.
Life's been good. Busy, but good.
Yeah, it has been. Hasn't rained at all, guys. We're not doing. I mean,
It's been
Frank can eat it.
because we got a quarter of an inch 2 days ago, and over here nada. So
we had it for like
Yeah.
2 minutes. We didn't get hardly that at all.
so Andre has been telling me for like 3 weeks or so that, once in a while he'd get the big 1.5 hour downpour in Orlando. And I just keep thinking maybe when the weather gets in the high gets in the right position, that we got all that water on the ground, and hopefully it'll start, like it does, get the big angel of death.
We
cloud
need
over
it,
there,
man.
Get the storms going.
I'm ready. I'm tired of watering out there. I'm trying to keep everything alive.
It's late because normally you get.
I was gonna say, I feel like it should be happening to where it's like every 3 o'clock.
Well, and there's water restrictions right now and everything too, so we're trying to kind of
What about fireworks?
keep within. Yeah,
It's sketchy
that's going to
right
be
now.
sketchy. I'm not going to do any fireworks. this year
Frank, is it
myself.
brown out on the Cape? I know you've been out there a lot. Is it pretty crackly?
Been dropping browns out of the Cape.
As we, everybody probably heard, you had that lightning strike over the weekend.
That was definitely a lightning strike.
Oh my god! Yeah, tell us about
I
that.
forgot about
something
that.
going
We
on
got to
right now.
talk about that, Frank.
So honestly,
Just
that's
take over the show.
a
Yeah,
good
please.
thing when
We did our
lightning
part.
strikes like that happen. That all the control burns you hear about control burns, they're trying to simulate lightning strikes. So when a lightning strike actually happens and there's something that burns, as long as it doesn't burn a building. Out there when something burns like that, you're going, okay, that's the type of burn you're looking for, where it's not burning everything. It's a mosaic burn where it kind of jumps around and does little pieces and parts. A natural burn is always good.
A buddy of mine was out there and
Those
took some photos.
pictures were
I mean, it was
insane.
just so intense on
It was
how
like an
this-
apocalypse.
Yeah.
Like
Pretty neat.
And there was like cars backed up for like 15, 20. Like it was dank. Come on,
I don't
man.
even know.
Cool.
All this stuff going. What if another lightning strike happens on this end? You know what I mean?
That's how they maintain
That's,
that property out there anyhow, is via fire. So
Oh yeah.
when you have a lightning strike and it's going to burn it naturally, it's always good.
Yeah,
Is
definitely.
there a line of smoke right now? Did I see something puffing?
Yeah, there was a little fire that popped up behind the Dodge dealership,
Okay.
right on the street from you guys, actually.
On the
We smelled it for a couple days over here. I think 2-3 days. Kind of got some remnants of it, but nothing too strong. Kind of smelled nice out.
I try not to go outside.
The smoky smell in
So
air.
hot.
Whenever there's like a fire or you do a fire outside, like if I do one out back, I'll smell it on my back porch. Like it seeps into everything. It seems
it's
like that
great.
smoke.
It does. It's 6 years short. You smell it the rest of the day.
Yeah.
It's not really
I
that
love
great
it.
of a smell. I don't like it.
Campfire smell. But then if you like smell like a campfire, but then you go into a grocery store,
Yeah.
it's like a complete culture shock. And then you feel like you smell terrible.
Well, you do, because when you're at the campfire, it smells awesome. And then you leave and you're like, this is not good.
If we can talk about smells for a quick second, ironically, I guess it was a few weeks ago, I was telling Thad about this. I out doing research on the Air Force Base, and we come across a lot of skunks on the Air Force Base. And I opened up one of our wildlife arrays, and here's this little spotted skunk. And he gets me like right in the chest, which spotted skunks aren't as bad as a striped skunk, which we really don't have many of.
Ew, dude. That's
So, I mean,
gross.
there's people that smell worse than the
Ew,
spotted
how
skunk.
bad
smell.
was
Never met someone.
It wasn't
by a
bad.
skunk.
I could smell it a little bit when I was in the truck, but it was kind of just barely on me, and I had to go to a place of business after that. So I walked in, and I think I was getting lined like a fishing reel or something. So
Someone starts going,
it was a fishing place, and I go
oh,
in.
they didn't smell it.
Well, I go in and I'm standing there. I'm like, I don't smell it anymore. Maybe it isn't so bad. I'm like,
You're like, not me.
like,
not me.
I could smell it in the truck, but I'm like, oh, maybe I can't smell it, so maybe it's not so bad. And about that time, the guy that was putting
He walks in and
line,
goes, oh my
Right.
God, what is wrong
The
with you?
second he walks in, he's like, what the?
Well, he was there the whole time. He didn't just walk in. He was there the whole time, but the guy all of a sudden goes, you just come back from hunting? And I said, no. And he goes,
Do you have doe urine on you?
well, that's what he goes. He goes, that's kind of funny because you smell like deer piss. And I went, okay. I've never heard that one before, but
Yeah.
I said, no, actually I just got sprayed by a skunk. And he goes, okay, I could see that.
So what do you do to get that out?
It was like by the end of the day, it was gone.
Okay, but like say it was like a real situation. Like what would somebody do if they like got sprayed by a skunk?
From my understanding with striped skunks, people use tomato juice and soak in tomato juice.
Your clothes and your body kind of thing?
I understand to get it off your skin proper,
I
you
think
have
people
to.
would like go into a bathtub with water and then they would have tomato juice and they would sit there and just
Yes, and
like,
pour it
just
all over
cups
them.
and pour
Wow.
it on them and wash
Like
like
it
a
just doesn't
washcloth
go away with soap.
and then just drain it out and rinse, repeat until it's gone.
You ain't got to worry about with our skunks. Our spotted skunks are really not that bad.
Frank
And they look so cute.
Frank's gonna have some kind of like special
Frank
de-skunkifier
spray.
sauce that you can buy like in like a little like soap container and it's gonna have his face on it.
It's called just
And
deal with it.
it'll have like a bobblehead, Frank.
It's
you know, on
called
the top.
deal. Deal with it.
Not in my garage.
What's one of your favorite smells? when you go out into
Mint.
mint? When
I love
you smell mint?
Yeah, mint out in the field is
What
a
about
beautiful
you?
thing.
The Pirates of the Caribbean.
You like
There's
smelling
this-
dirty
No,
pirate
no, no, no.
odors?
There's a smell in the ride of Pirates of the Caribbean. I think it's like, I want to say it's like magnolias or
I
something.
know what you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
But it's that
Yeah.
first room. It smells so good.
I haven't smelt it in years, but I know
That's
exactly
cool.
what you're talking
Like
about.
we literally ride that ride first just so I can smell that and I get in the best mood because it's like, it does smell fantastic. I don't know exactly what it is. I know they have candles that make it now, but
vanilla-like smell, yeah.
that's like one of my favorites.
Thad, what's your favorite?
I think,
Like any smell.
well, you got me in the woods. So sometimes, a lot of times, if I'm in a pine flatwood, I think it's tar flower, but the Lyonias or something
Okay.
particular. And it smells similar to the Florida apricot,
Okay.
but that'll get me.
It just has like a very unique smell to it that kind of just,
Yeah, I like that. I like that smell.
because like a lot of people like jasmine or gardenias or honeysuckle, some of those type of
Oh,
things,
I'll
you know.
throw this in there. I like some pure sativa,
Yeah, yes.
some pure game.
Oh man.
You know what I've
Fresh.
never understood?
Smells
You
nice.
guys, like, okay, every time like a guy offers me hand sanitizer or lotion, it smells like a freaking old man who puts on too much cologne. Like there's a certain smell.
Yeah, the
and
alcohol-y.
I hate it.
Yeah.
And like older guys like still smell like
Root by
that.
Fabergé.
And it's like, how has nobody told? It's never smelled good. And like when they buy candles that smell like that, I'm just like, oh my God, no.
It's
Yeah. I know what
it's
you're
pretty wild. I mean, smells are like, man, how many humans can't smell? Like you don't hear about
well, it's
people
not-
that are blind or people
Are we
that
going
might
back
be
to
deaf.
COVID times? Is that we just
Right? That's I was
But
just about
like
to say
that was the time when people talked about I couldn't like
Old balls.
smell things.
He can't smell.
You can't smell things at all.
It's a blank.
Wow.
It happens, you know.
Yeah, I was. It's man, that would be a sense that I would hate to lose.
You know what's wild is when you're pregnant. Oh my God, you can smell things like from so far away. That's why the second and third time I knew I was pregnant.
Women smell things much better than men, though, right? And there's science behind that, right? That just like we don't even need to research it. I think we just know that, right?
It wasn't like that before. Like when I was
Right?
pregnant, it was like I could smell
You're
a
like- you're-
shit across the hallway. And I knew. It's like, because it's too strong of a smell. Like I'm normally not that observant with smell.
Frank's like,
I could
women
tell
aren't
you
better
about
at
nasal
anything.
receptors in animals. I'm not sure about people.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either really, but women are always like, I can smell that from whatever, and I'm like, I can't smell any of it. I don't know what you're talking about.
I do love cinnamon in the wintertime. Like
Okay.
smelling like apple cinnamon in a house where it like smells like the holidays.
Yeah.
Or the cloves and the orange.
Yeah, like
Ooh, like good lemon zest.
there's definitely smells for seasons. Like I feel like there's music for like daytime and nighttime too. Brent makes fun of me all the time, but it's like
There's my favorite right now is it's sesame seed oil, like the sesame, you know, that smell, like when you cook with it, and it just
Love
that sesame kind of smell.
tahini.
I think they even have like Neutrogena. They're gonna make fun of me, like a body oil that's made of sesame seed oil that you buy like over where the body oils and the mineral oils and, and the salt scrub.
they're like repackaged sesame oil.
Scott's here again, guys.
You know what?
He's taking all the cookie butter and sesame oil.
I think my favorite smell to walk into is somebody cooking onions, like grilling onions. Cause like I'm not even a fan of onions, but like I'll be like, Brent, it smells so good in here. He's like, I am just cooking onions.
You go to Burger
every
Rob's
time.
and they got those onion burgers. Oh my god.
Caramelized onions. That'll get you.
I just don't like raw onions. I figured that out way late in life. So I missed out on a lot.
I love
I'm right there
raw
with you.
onions.
It sucks. Like I wish I weren't so picky and like thinking one type of way.
Yeah.
And like now I'm just figuring out I'm just like kind of a texture person. So it's like, okay, I like jalapenos, but not the actual like skin, and
Yeah,
being a grown up's weird.
it is. So we have come together today to talk to Frank. And we were supposed to have a special news bulletin release a couple weeks ago, and Frank had to do a night trip up to, no, I don't know if it was night, I'm just making stuff up, but you had to go up to what, North Carolina?
You have a girlfriend.
Maryland, right?
A little bit, yeah, a
And
little
a
bit
baby.
further north than that. Yeah, we're working on publishing that stuff. So I'll say it's in the DC area.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. So I know you had to go on a little exploratory trip.
Yeah, that was our third trip up there, actually. Yeah,
And you called me. You said, Scott, I'm ready.
indeed.
I'm ready. And so I kind of remember, and I did my research. I already know all these people you're trying to share. We're all friends. We all pick some groups and stuff. So
Well,
I'm
it
in
was
society of
interesting,
smart
you know,
geese.
when you guys were talking about memories of us getting back together. And I was thinking about this earlier, and I'm going to try to talk about without crying. But remember literally sitting here and chatting with you guys before I went in to have my heart surgery, and then just kind of just thinking about this journey that I've been on since then. And man, it's just super blessed just to have the opportunity to sit here and chat with you all. And you know, every day, you know, I wake up and I think about that. I'm like, man, how amazing is it just to wake up and not only just wake up, but to be doing what you love around the most wonderful people that anybody could dream about being around. I don't know. I'm just a little overwhelmingly blessed, you know.
As are we, Frank. It's like
Big time.
It really is crazy. I remember talking to you in the hospital and I was like thinking, man, what if like he just can't even walk in the woods by himself anymore? Like, what if he can't be like alone anymore? How's he gonna? Because you're such a like, I'm gonna do everything myself type of guy. Like, I can't even imagine.
Remember when I was just recovering, trying to go for a walk with you and Charlie and all the kids, and remember getting about halfway into it, and I had to apologize. I'm like, I had to sit down and chill out because I wasn't there yet. You know, it was only a couple months out of surgery, and it put a beating on me, and now I go do those walks and that stuff times 1,000 every day, and it's I know we all have our journeys in life, you know what I mean, but it's been emotional roller coaster.
Here's the cool perspective here's how I remember everything is, we start doing this podcast over at Mother House. COVID starts. We move over to this, I buy this house here. We move everything over here. We take like a month off or so. And then we start getting this thing going here. And like one of the first people I think we brought here, there was a couple others, but then it was Frank.
It was like the first real like
Colleen.
Somebody had something to say.
Colleen's like, I know somebody who has a bobblehead and who's famous and went to Chicago and like sings the Gators, and they just fall asleep and float to him upside down in a submissive way.
Is that how?
That's exactly what I said.
And I was like, oh,
and
really?
extremely good looking.
Let's talk to this guy.
Dear Lord.
And then you like we like I don't know if we were ready like for we were, but
I remember Charlie going like, hey man, did you know that he did this? And like after he like, cause Charlie always would research and he was like coming back impressed. I'm like, I told you.
And we were like, well, okay. Like we're actually really having this cool dude, just like it, and not, you're amazing, dude. It was like such a heartfelt, cool thing that you were so like, you're a motivating person. And it's like, let's do this. And it's like we were trying to do podcasts, together. We did a little episode together.
We did.
And I just remember the conversations. You were like, okay, I'm going to have this surgery. But then after this, there could be some opportunities. Do I keep doing what I'm doing? Because I can't really do some of the things that I do currently because of the strenuous, just the physical nature of it. But I love the studying and all the research and the connections and everything.
He doesn't get paid. He doesn't like have health insurance like the rest of us. So like this guy had to rely on
good people.
His moral like compass has led him to having everybody love him.
And through,
so it's like, please get,
and through just a couple
and that's
visits
not
here
easy,
and there
man.
on this podcast. And we've got to kind of follow those, the hiccups and everything. You've had hiccups along the way.
Oh yeah.
With the health, and I'm sure you kind of always will,
Yeah,
especially as we all age, but it was just a special journey getting to speak through all of these, whether they're opportunities or life's directions, and to say, am I going to stay around here? Do I want to go somewhere else? Do I want to follow this opportunity or this one? And it was like, let's do a podcast, all of us together. And I was like, man, I don't think I could keep up with you. Like, you needed to kind of do your own, full on thing, which you've completely done in like the coolest way. And you've got this support system. And I know Thad over here helps you a lot. And you got the EcoFest that you're sitting here and grinding through and doing all of this work.
Focused.
And it's at the early stages. So, it's there's a lot of growing pains and learning lessons and health, tribulations. But that, like, I take that even with this podcast, we do it for fun.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah.
if something more comes of it down the road, it has to be through a fun way. Because if it's not through a fun way, it won't actually work ever. You know, and it takes like a village to make anything work, just like it takes to make, you know, Frank Robb's ears, you know, nonprofit, and to get to go to Titusville High School and help these young kids with their video, you know, classes and stuff, and bring these really cool people. I mean, you're bringing, you got people from one of my favorite shows, Cheers. You got Norm coming on the show.
Yeah, I just want
you
to.
got- you
Ian
got
Owens on
sheriffs.
there, man.
I need to get Ian on
Sheriffs.
again.
You have all
I need to
these
get
just
Ian on again. Yeah, that was
really cool people
Right.
on the show, you know?
One of the coolest things was the first time. Was it the first time we had him on when Josh was here, Davis, that had the scar on his leg?
Oh, yeah.
Or no.
off
Oh,
the
no,
ladder.
no. We talked about the story with the penis on the arm.
Oh, yeah. That was the first thing. It was
And like,
someone
so
attached to it.
Charlie brought that up, me knowing what a godly guy Frank is, right? He comes in a suit. Okay. And we did this whole thing. And then the second half comes and Charlie's like, so there's a guy in Miami who had his dick sewn on his arm.
Yeah.
And I look over at Frank.
He goes, "Oh,
and
my
Frank
garage."
was like, oh my garage. But then talks about it totally normally, like not shocked, like we were having a scientific talk about a penis on the arm. And I was like, this guy, he's got
can
it all.
He can
He's
talk
well
to everybody. Yeah. We threw him kind of like you did the Tom and Dan, and hey, they can go to town, man. They can
I've
really,
done that show 3 times now. Yeah, and
they're hilarious.
the first time I talked to them, I think they tried to poke me just to get reactions.
Oh, yeah,
to see
yeah.
if I was going to go off the deep end. And I remember them finally going, "You're like the nicest guy ever. Why will you not get upset?" And I'm like, I thought we were having
you
fun.
can hear Samantha in the background going like, dude, he really is. I talked to him. He's the nicest person ever. And then you said, "Oh, my garage." And then I think it was Daniel or somebody goes, "Did he just say, oh, my garage?" I think
it's everyone's reaction.
he's
Right?
the nicest person in the
What?
world. We're done. We're not going to be mean to you anymore, sir. We promise.
They were nice.
No, they
guys.
were great. It was fantastic, man. So, yeah, the journey full circle. There's
Yeah, and there's
so much more to come.
the stuff going on now. We just started off a 3-year cancer research study with the University of Louisville here on the Space Coast. So we are,
That's
Looking
where,
at-
where my brother lives,
yeah,
Louisville.
Louisville.
yep, indeed, Louisville. Yep.
Louisville.
He taught me how to say it.
We're looking at chromosome breaks in American alligators. So that most people hear that and they're like, why do you care about chromosome breaks in alligators? Or what is the comparison between alligator and human health? And, you know, we've talked about this briefly before, but same endocrine system, same reproductive hormones. They, just like us, apex predator, which means they're the top of the food pyramid, top of the food chain. They're eating everything in the environment below them. It allows bioaccumulation, which means, again, so they're eating the turtles, they're eating the fish, they're eating the birds, snakes, frogs, rats, everything that's on that food web or food chain they're eating. It basically makes them a floating file of information with the same endocrine system, same reproductive hormones, and they're able to repair their chromosomes like immediately behind them breaking. Not only repair them, but repair them correctly each time. So we're looking at a lot of things. We're looking at environmental health. We're looking at heavy metals, forever chemicals, chromosomes. We're kind of digging into all of it. We're doing our lab work at the Brevard Zoo, which is the most amazing lab ever. They've allowed us to come in their lab and do our lab work there, and
That's awesome.
it's it's got so many blessings. Thad's been out with us a few times and got some samples with us, so we've been going around and catching gators and taking samples. And
Are you guys finding anything surprising, or is it not like you haven't done it long enough to see any kind of like?
I'm surprised.
yeah, it's very fresh. It's very fresh. Yeah, what do you make out of it, Thad? What do you think about it so far? It's a lot of hard work. There's no doubt about that.
I don't want to forget to give a shout out to Dr. Is it Wise
Yes, Dr. Wise. Yeah.
and his crew who, because Frank just
Oh, those are my friends.
acquired some permits. Ears acquired permits, and there's a lot going on, including this research with Dr. Wise and his people. So some of the interesting things that I thought was interesting is I got to do some of the catch and release, and that's like a whole adrenaline sport.
Were you scared?
I wasn't scared. I was trying to be
Yeah, he
a
was.
good student to Frank's.
He was shaking.
He was leading the show. But, there's some moments like when Frank is doing, there's like a couple moments like when you get on and off the critter, but especially when Frank gets on the critter, when it's all like the mouth ain't taped shut and there's like 6 people holding a 400-pound animal, like don't let any slack, and he's about to come
Try
up.
to roll.
That's a little bit.
It's insane to watch these videos of Frank and see somebody who literally
Just does it.
like it's second nature. It's like me pouring a beer at the brewery, right? And everyone watches you like sniff the glass and pour the beer. It's like, oh my God.
Hey, but
it's like with Frank, it's like you could die. And he just
Like
they go to sleep though after that. He puts them not asleep, but
he sings. He sings them. I told you guys.
I'm saying they're
Okay.
calm.
He sings.
They don't flail.
they
at
go
all.
to sleep.
They
I'm telling
chill.
you.
Well, so, we've talked about this kind of interestingly for a while. When you're catching one to do research with it, it's not that they're not going to fight and try to get away, but it's almost like they have another sense that they understand that you're not going to hurt them. Like, okay, you're here. You're going to take a blood sample. You're going to take a tissue sample, and you're going to turn me back loose.
Yeah, you haven't
Okay.
shot me or stabbed me or done anything
Right,
yet, and I'm
so-
tired now. I'm gonna just wait this out.
Well, it's not that they're not. It's not that they're really tired because the whole process takes about 15 minutes.
Okay.
They just kind of go.
That's exactly
all right.
what they do. They chill.
They just kind of this.
Wow.
It's almost like they shrug their shoulders and go, "Okay, can we just get this done so I can leave now?"
Can I?
They're probably like, I've never felt this before. What's happening?
Can I? I'm gonna ask your. This is gonna go well.
He's gonna see something. I'll finger up the butt. I know it.
It's a
no
carrot.
butt fingers. I promise. I was swimming.
It's called a cloaca,
I was swimming
not
in
a
the
butt.
pool the other day, and now a few months ago we found a little painted turtle in our skimmer in the pool. So now he's in the tank over here with Tuck, and I was swimming again here the other day, and there was a little ringneck snake.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably only about 4 inches long,
About as big as they get.
5 inches long or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, it's nothing to walk over there, just grab that little thing and walk it, off the side. But at first it took me a minute. Lori was making fun of me. Like I was trying to, I didn't want it to bite me. How do you get a snake to you will hold 4, 5, 6 snakes and they're all just sitting
He
there
gets
chilling.
bit too, though.
It's like you do. It's any
Derek's
animal.
got this snake at the house, and him and Silas this weekend are holding it, and it's just this white boa, little, designer boa, whatever it is. And, they're sitting there holding it like it's nothing, and they love the thing and grabbing it, and they have a way.
When you're dealing with
I'm
wild
just too nervous with them.
wild animals, it's truly it's weird to say this, but the energy you're putting off, or if you go into something with nervous energy, they're going to pick up on it. It's almost like a dog looking at somebody and going, man, I don't like this guy.
Yeah.
It's a matter of if you're calm, for the most part, they're going to be calm.
Yeah.
If you go into it excited or a little bit freaked out, that whatever animal that is going to lose its flipping mind. And I've tried to explain this to so many different
It's a hard
wildlife
thing to
people.
kind of get in
it's-
a way.
Yeah, it's
You're
nothing
if
you
you're
can really
not
put
in
a
it all the
finger on,
time.
right?
Yeah, because the
can't
nerves
space
are the
your-
nerves.
Exactly.
And
Look
you
at Chain of
can't-
Legs.
And you can't react like someone that does when they get scared by like in a Halloweenish type of thing where
Yeah.
you can't have that same type of loud
there's no part
reaction
of it.
because they're gonna it's over.
Yeah, Chain of Legs,
You
they
have
just
to-
lay there and everyone just walks by calm. Nobody's freaking out.
Yeah.
What are you about to tell me that like somebody did something at Chain of Legs because you made a face that was like I know something.
Have no idea.
You better tell me a Chain of Legs story now.
Oh, Chain of Lakes is beautiful. I love the place.
How many gators are in there?
A couple.
lot.
At least
I was walking
least
by one
20?
time and there was like 4 of them in a row that were all 10 foot long,
Hey,
just
we
sitting on the path.
pulled in
just-
an 11-foot plus one out of there. And
Yeah.
a lot.
the thing I try to preach, so my group, Thaddeus included, don't have any experience really with wildlife. I mean, they're all professionals in their own worlds, but none of that really deals with wildlife. So when we go out, we'll have 3 people with us or 4 people with us, and it's important for me. It's hard to explain it, but you have the pressure of making sure the animal's safe, and then you have the pressure of
making sure everybody around you.
So you got to be
is-
thinking about
is
that
being
and thinking
smart.
about this at all the same time. So I start off every day with a safety talk. We make sure look, nobody's going to get going anything fast, where everything's going to be slow and methodical. We're talking, we're all communicating, and we're going to walk our way through it nice and slow and calm. And we're going to be calm the whole time. If you have something to say it calmly. If there's something that's alarming, you can say it loud, but say it calm. And we just kind of work our way through it. And it's like anything. I would compare it to what you do or what you do at work. You have a set of procedures you go by. If you follow those procedures, even though there's going to be
some hiccups.
There's going to be things that change each time because you might have a crazy customer that comes in and sits down, or you might have a driver who's giving you a hard time, or maybe they've lost a tire on the way to where they're going.
Yeah.
Thad, maybe you lost a wire or somebody lost a string on a guitar. You have done it enough where you know how to change the plan as it goes along. If there's at least somebody there, which, I'm there to do that, to walk you through the process, then it's kind of one of those mind over matter things.
Yep.
Well, you're a special person because it takes a special person to have that kind of control over your brain to not like panic in situations like that. I would like to think that I wouldn't if I were faced with something crazy like that, but my children have taught me otherwise.
Before I had heart surgery, there were a couple of times where I had to wear Holter monitors. The monitors they put on you, where you wear it for 24, 48, 72 hours. And remember my doctor, we were sitting down looking at things and he's like, so you woke up in the morning and then your day was going on at like 2:00. What were you doing? Well, I was catching an alligator. Well, no. What were you doing? What were you doing from 2:00 to 3:00? I was catching an alligator. Well, it's very bizarre, but your heart rate is half of what it is everywhere else when you're doing that. Wow. Like I truly believe that, we all kind of have gifts. We all have these different blessings in our lives. And that's just something that our family, the Robb's family has been blessed with for a long time, is the ability to be calm in those high stress wildlife situations. We can everybody's got their thing.
We're thankful for your family because there's a lot of bad people that catch alligators. They get a bad reputation. There's so many bad ones, but you guys are
They're
legit
on TV all the time.
Good people that care about the animals. You're always correcting people online whenever they have bad info. And that really needs to happen, especially in Port St. John. These people don't know shit. Poor Frank.
When there's a shark in the water and you're surfing, the calmness has I was watching a video of a surfer, with a big great white underneath it, and he was being very calm and trying to make very calm moves, and there was someone communicating with him, and you know what I mean, trying to help the situation, and it didn't attack him, and he was able to catch a wave and get past it, but it was following him and everything. Someone starts flailing and freaking out. You're done. You're done.
You're drawing attention to a situation that otherwise might not have.
Yeah.
It's, we have so many amazing things going on now with that research, with our biodiversity research. The podcast is, it's crazy. I just posted today episode 110 for us.
That's so awesome, man.
And we're averaging between
this is
3
like a
and
third season.
We just finished up season 3. Yep.
Wow, dude.
And we're averaging between 3,200 and 5,000 views a week.
That's fantastic.
Or not views, but listens a week.
Yeah,
so
man.
it's
fantastic.
It's unbelievable.
I love that.
It's unbelievable.
Fantastic. And you got Cindy over there too. And
Cindy's the glue that holds it all together. You've seen it in person.
Oh, yeah.
We need to have you on to chat with us.
Definitely.
Okay.
Will you come back to Titusville High School and come chat with us?
I haven't been since I left.
No. Say Thad's been in studio. Scott's been in studio.
Yeah.
You'll have a blast.
I will.
So it's so fun.
Yeah. I'm nervous about it. I don't want to embarrass myself
There's
because
nothing to be nervous about.
There's
that meme.
There's nothing to be
Frank's
nervous about.
podcast is like the Tiger Woods, and we're not.
It felt.
That's so not true.
I went over there, and they got kids heads. They're all working in the control room. It looks like a little mini NASA, setting everybody up to go over there.
Bill's got an amazing classroom.
He really does, man. And
what are we
going to
talk about?
You.
Oh boy.
Your career journey. How do you get to where you're at?
You get to park at a gate, and they'll go, we'll send somebody, and they have somebody opens the gate and brings you and ushers you in and gets you parked, and then
into the high school. You don't just drive in.
No, we go in the back off of Hopkins.
Oh, by the pool?
Yep.
Nope.
Kind of
before the pool. It's a lock gate.
It's like if you're coming from Garden Street, it's right past the pool on the left.
Okay.
But if you're coming from
Gate 2,
the Harley Davidson place over there,
it's the second gate north of the Titusville Public Library.
It's weird. All the years going there, I never really used that area because it was always I never swam as the shop. Yeah,
that's his
Wise just opened that Wise building.
His room is in the old wood shop.
Wow.
Oh, okay,
It's an amazing studio. That's where that was at, but. Yeah, this research it's going to be some groundbreaking stuff. We're doing it across the entire county on the saltwater side. We are in desperate need of funding. So if somebody wants to be part of helping fund a very vitally important research study, it's cancer research. You know what I mean? It's that alone should encourage a lot of people, I would hope.
Do you think we could get a little creative maybe and all like maybe put our heads together and do like a little marketing clip that we can use for our podcast to kind of shine a light on it or something, you know?
By all means. And we're doing
Can you put some music behind it or something?
We have to make a video go viral of Frank.
And then we can put it up on your ears YouTube so you can share it and everything. And then we can like use just the audio part of it on this podcast as a part of our commercials, just to kind of, you know.
We are doing a Comic-Con with Rick there at the Infinite
Awesome.
Mushroom.
Heck yeah, man. We still got to have Rick here, man. I got to get Rick.
Oh,
I got to go in there and talk to him.
for sure. September the 7th, we're doing a Comic-Con there in Cocoa Village at the Civic Center.
Okay.
So if you guys want to be involved with that, September 7th.
Yeah, I'll
coming
probably
up pretty quick.
Go to that.
Yeah, coming up pretty quick. So we're in the middle of planning that and getting that all together.
Yeah, I'll come do something with that. Maybe we'll bring the recording stuff and have some fun.
Feel free. Yeah, that'll be a Saturday.
I'll go stop in there one day and talk to him.
I think we're doing 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. We're gonna have panels and all kinds of stuff.
We'll have Colleen dress up, and she'll be you'll be what you want to do, She-Ra?
I feel like I'm on the Big Bang Theory right now, and I'm Penny, and you guys talk about Comic-Con.
That can be Orko, and Frank can be He-Man.
So can I
I'll be Skeletor.
Can I discuss the fly on the wall?
Oh yeah.
Or the picture on the wall?
Is there? Oh yeah. What's that?
Tell me about that picture.
Oh, that's there just for you.
Okay, tell me about that picture.
I don't know anything about it. I just found it.
Oh, you just found it?
Frank probably took it.
So do you want me to discuss this picture?
Yeah.
Do you know the picture?
Oh yeah. I know the history of this picture.
Well, you have to describe it because it's a podcast, not a video.
There's a picture on the wall of a crocodilian that is carrying a pig.
Yep.
And it says Boar. What is it? Hold on a second. Boar Hunter, 1981.
Yep.
Kennedy Space Center, Florida.
Yep.
So, do you want me to break this down for you?
I'm ready. I can't wait.
So, this is actually a Nile crocodile carrying a African pig.
Yep.
In its mouth. This thing every year it makes its rounds around the internet.
I love it.
Where people falsely say, "Oh, look, it's an alligator on the Space Center carrying a pig." Well, this is a Nile crocodile in what looks like South Africa.
I love it.
Carrying an African pig across the street. So if you've ever anybody's seen this picture, it's been all over the place.
This is our first piece of like things that I hung up here that's gotten like real attention.
Yeah, so, I've been staring at it the whole time.
And when I got it, what there was like I think it was like a flea market where there was like $10 pictures, and I was like, there was one of this dude, and we knew that half of this stuff was BS, you know. And I said, Frank's gonna pick this picture apart. I don't know what he's gonna do. I don't know how he's gonna do it, and I'm gonna put it.
It's normally not there now.
And I said, I'm gonna. And listen, I put that there a few months ago, and everybody that sits down and looks at it goes, what's this all about? I go, I don't even know. I just bought it and I put it there, and I think Frank's going to talk about it.
Oh, I knew it was coming.
And then that's why I just kind of didn't say nothing.
You know,
and I just wanted to say, just tell me about it. I have no idea.
You know what we need in here? Is it Ewan McGregor that does Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yeah.
And everyone gives it to their grandparents and they think it's Jesus. And like they literally there was the 5 like different videos I saw where they gave them that picture and the grandma's like, oh my God, my grandson got me a picture of Jesus. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh my God.
Still chilling. It's awesome.
That's hilarious. That's funny.
Yeah. I just, I owe you all a lot of thank yous for just your support over these few years. And, man, it's just I can't say thank you enough.
You're doing all the work, man.
It's a mutual thing, man. You're out there. You're putting in the work every day. You're hustling. You're making it happen. Everything that you talked about wanting to do, you've been doing.
Thank you for being a non-creepy stand-up guy, for real. Like, you do stuff, you work around women and you respect them and you don't make them feel uncomfortable. And as a girl, you have no idea how much that means. And you teach them things and don't mansplain. Like...
No, it's true. So the women who are working with us, and Thad can tell you this, are some, the days I've been going out and doing research, it's a group of women that are working with me, and they are freaking amazing. I mean, these women are no joke. One's, she was our intern. Now she's actually a board member of our group. That's Rebecca. She was actually pre-law and came out and worked with us a couple of times and changed her whole degree and went back to biology.
Thank you, because girls need to like science too and know they can do it. Because I know growing up, I didn't learn a lot because people made me feel stupid for asking questions. So like I just never did. But then when I met Brent, it was like teach me physics and everything else. Like it's a lot when you ask me something and they don't look at you like, oh, you fucking idiot. And like,
well, it's funny you say that because, you know, Rebecca, when she first came over with us and was working with us, I said, look, you know, my perspective, I can teach you, I can share a life's worth of knowledge with you about catching and working with wildlife. What I cannot teach you is what it's like to be a woman in a field that's dominated by men. So do me a solid. Let's go to Belize with me, go to Central America with me. I'll introduce you to my friend Marissa. You can see a woman who's at the top of her game doing what I do. She's the only person like her that's doing what she does. And have a conversation with her. Ask her these questions about what it's like to be a woman in this field, to work around men, and, you know, get her advice. These are things I can't help you with, you know, and that's, if I'm going to intern someone or mentor them, I want to be able to try to show them every piece of the puzzle I possibly can. And as a man, you can't do that for them. You know, I mean, there's some point where you have to be able to say, hey, look, here, you know, your journey on my end is done. Now let's see if we can get you filled in other pieces of that puzzle.
You know, like no other guys think like that, right? Like, that's a whole different way of thinking right there.
Could you really, like Frank, seeing Frank, he's like calling gators, right? He's doing gator calls, and I'm sure you could just throw them out right now. And like what if you had like human female versions of these calls?
Then just Rebecca's about got it.
And then in your other part of your life, that's all you do is you just human call.
Yeah, he's talking about calling girls. Like
20 years from now, 20 years
they all
from
come out
now,
of the woods for
like,
Frank.
He called me just like he called that gator Chance.
Hey, you got any groupies,
Got me
Frank?
right out of the bayou.
These ladies who are working with us they're pretty heavy science.
Oh, I'm sure.
Science ladies, and
That's not who I'm talking about.
I don't think about them like that, so I don't know.
I'm talking about your social media. Who's sliding in your DMs? Come on.
Like, she walked right in. She goes, "Frank married yet? How many kids you got?" Like she
you
wanted
guys
to know
do the
whole,
serious stuff.
She wanted to know the whole scoop on you, man.
You know why I'm here.
I plead the fifth and all that situation.
My God.
I don't
played.
have any idea what you. It's
Well
funny
played.
when I got back from Chicago. Somebody told me. I remember somebody on Facebook posting that on one of the Chicago sites, like, "Hey, can I slide into your DMs?" I'm like, "What does that even mean?"
Why you don't
Like, break
ask? You
that down
just do
for me.
it.
on a
What
shoehorn.
Okay, so it's a direct message. So like,
Oh, I know now.
Oh, okay,
I know now.
okay.
Yeah. I didn't know then. I know now, but yeah, it's no. I'm surrounded by a lot of really amazing people, and
I love his face.
I
enjoy.
I really enjoy meeting people and having conversations with new people. So I'm the weirdo that's literally, I'll be sitting somewhere and talk to anybody about anything just at the drop of the hat and have the greatest conversation ever.
Well, he knows more than Gators. He also knows football.
I do.
What do you think of that Brady roast, huh?
That was weird.
That was kind of a weird one, wasn't it?
I loved it.
It was so good. I loved it.
I loved it.
I laughed I loved it.
Man.
Is
Mickey
everybody-
Glazier killed it.
Like the awkward comments about his wife. I didn't care for that.
He
He knew that was coming.
he even said afterwards, I think I saw a quote of his where he said, that was a little, I wasn't expecting it like that.
Because it affected his kids.
I thought the funniest jokes on that were the ones that were actually clean. Ben Affleck was weird.
Yeah.
But I thought the rest
He
of
didn't
it.
prepare.
I thought the rest of it, the handful of people that got up there and they were clean with their jokes were pretty flippin' awesome. I thought that didn't attack his wife, that didn't attack who his wife was dating, and I
Who was that?
Weird.
Why is it drum like the quarterback who he replaced?
Drew Bledsoe.
Drew
He was
Bledsoe
great.
did so good.
It was so
Oh
funny.
my God.
did.
He looked. That
See
was
how nice
like
Belichick was? He just went so nice.
Belichick. Like
that was really good.
who's that
amazing.
dude? Like he's
Totally
laughing. I'm like I'm scared of him right now because like he is not acting like.
Well,
all
he
the
puts
stress.
on a persona when he's coaching. There's a persona there.
That was a lot of fun to watch that weird dynamic. You know,
it
you
was
got
weird.
Gronk hammered. You got
Gronk was
the
great.
boss out in the crowd. Brady already yelling at somebody for talking about massages.
I heard he's
Meanwhile,
getting sued, by the way.
what?
Gronk's getting sued after that because I guess he smashed.
He did. He
when
smashed the
he
glass.
that glass, it went and hit some girl and like cut her up.
Damn.
You know what? You know what was the most impressive thing to me? And I know Kim Kardashian. I'm sorry. That girl got up. People booed the fuck out of her.
I was wondering if
and
you were gonna
she
bring this up.
just kept going and she killed it. She made a joke about, she's like, my family's already defended enough, like, football players or whatever, like making jokes about OJ. And like, I watched that show. This girl, that's not what she does. And she's trying and she put herself out there. And to be booed, I cannot imagine standing up there being booed and then try to tell jokes surrounded by comedians at a Netflix is a joke festival.
Yeah.
When they know you are just nobody respects her. And she did good. She did good.
If we're being real, like these roasts, like they've been doing these roasts since like the 50s and early days. And it was all about going below the belt. It was about like,
yeah, but it was only so far below the belt.
And what I'm saying though is like, I mean, actually, there are some of the old ones because there's a podcast on it, dude. Like, dude, some of the things that they would say, it just never didn't get the airtime, and it was like it was something that didn't get recorded the same way because a lot of it was done, pre-TV or that you had, your basic television, but cable wasn't airing these type of things. And then as the internet started popping out, they started getting these little, you had your rap battles and your roast battles. They were always something that was kind of going on. And Jeff Ross and all these guys, the way they got popular was, I mean, it's being as, and I'm not what, and here's what I was going to say. I'm not even judging whether you be nice or mean on it because I think both of them. There are like Neil McDonald, Norm Macdonald went on and just read a newspaper and made these weird comments. Adam Sandberg or Andy Samberg.
He was funny.
Nine-Nine, he went up there and just was like
talking about fucking James Franco.
But he was just like burn. It was super clean except for the last like sentence, and it was so funny.
Didn't Jeff Ross wasn't he the guy that went into the prisons too? Went in the prisons and like joked around with the guys.
I think he did. There were some videos of him going to the prisons and roasting everybody, and he's like the roast master. Like he's the guy. He used to sit up on stage in the old days and read poems that he would write, and they were just terrible written. Dear Susan, and it would just like, and he would just like get halfway through it and throw it away. It was real funny comedy,
man.
But these roasts and it really like because they've gotten Donald Trump, they've gotten.
Can I just say this real quick? I love the roast, but like I wish that the guys would think of better jokes and talking about the size of a woman's vagina every time. It's always about like how it's like whatever, like come up with something else. It's like it's so gross and weird and like it's like come on, you can't say anything else about girls. It's like, oh, there's a girl, she's got a big fat vagina. She's a whore. It's like that be smarter than that, man.
They are.
Are they?
Yeah, they are.
This roast, there wasn't as many jokes probably because there was only Nikki Glazer and then a lesbian girl up there that they probably were scared of.
Greg Giraldo and all that with Lisa Lampanelli. See, here's the thing is a lot of these female and male comedians that are up there roasting each other and saying these things, they sit in hotel rooms and on tour buses and in green rooms, and they all have podcasts and they all talk about this. They want this humor. They say these things behind closed doors, and a lot of this is pre-written. Every comedian that went up there, or every famous person that went up there to do that roast, it was written. They didn't write
Bert
any
and
of
Tom
that
wrote about Hitler.
Like they didn't write any of that themselves. Like the actors that go up and do these roasts, they don't write their own material for it.
Right.
Jeff Ross and the comedians write it for them. Just like Saturday Night Live, they have writers in the back room.
Oh, I understand that.
And someone does it, and like the
I get they're okay with it, but I just feel like man, it's smarter.
Like, I don't disagree, but I'm just saying like
it's just weird.
When you know these comedians and watch them all the time, I'm just trying to give them credit because when you watch them all the time, you understand the way that they're saying the thing to the other person is super intelligent, and it's based usually on an inside joke that a layman that just watches the show doesn't get the same way, because usually the fans of those people will watch it too,
right?
And they're probably not being intelligent and going towards like the mass laugh. They're kind of going for the deep burn laugh.
What about our guys?
The other comedians will respect.
What'd you think of Bert and Tom? I thought like if you know them, they were funny, but if you didn't, that was real weird.
I know them, and they were the worst of them all.
I was embarrassed for them the whole time. I was like, oh my god, I'm like embarrassed for them right now.
No, they just were when like they talk about this on every podcast. Like when you watch Rogan and they get all the comedians on and they're all talking, you'll have 5 comedians that are the best 5 comedians maybe in the world, and they'll all will follow each other on stage for, let's say, a week straight. All 5 of them are going to have sets and setups where they just fail. Things don't hit right. That's why they're comedians and why they're paid pros, because they can go and do that and fail miserably and then just be blind to that and go on and do the very next set and it kills.
I'm just bummed because I talk about them all the time. I'm like, watch them. And then they come up. I'm like, oh, come on, man. Like, my friends don't even watch comedy stuff, and this is what you're giving them.
It's kind of crazy because these roasts were always on Comedy Central and they were doing them like every couple months.
Yeah.
Nobody cared or talked about this, but now Tom Brady gets on one, for crying out loud, and it's been like news for like a month after it's been over.
Well, and who's going to do it next? I don't think anybody's going to like.
Well, it's starting to get to where it's getting to be, it's too big, where it's kind of like somebody's, you know what I mean? Like, some things are meant to be underground and stay underground, and I think roasts are meant to stay underground.
I bet Travis Kelce will do it.
But people get so disputed.
Travis Kelce, I bet he'll do it.
On these roasts, people get so like, oh, that was mean or that
right,
was wrong.
Right.
Like Courtney Love was up there, and they were saying all of the worst things to her that's, you know what I mean? Like about her husband and her fault. Like they're saying it to her face, and she's sitting there laughing and doesn't even know anybody. It was uncomfortable and probably super cringe, but that's kind of what it's all about in a way.
Kevin Hart said some of the cringiest stuff, and I've never seen him talk like that, and I was laughing so hard, and then I started feeling guilty for laughing. But like, I'm sorry, all the jokes about Giselle, I thought they were funny because he wasn't saying anything bad about Giselle. They were talking about what a piece of shit Tom treated her like crap, and she like moved on. So every time I was like, hell yeah, girl, go with your personal trainer. Like, what do you say? Like, all it will cost you is you want to go an 8 and 6 season, all it costs you is a wife and kids.
I mean, what do you think about Tony Hinchcliffe's set? I mean,
that was a guy in the crowd that came up.
The most hardcore,
wow,
crazy. That was one of his best sets of his career.
It was live and it looked so cool. Like everybody just like kind of like.
He goes, I'm killing. Earthquake's up laughing at me. I'm killing. And he's one of the funniest, comedians, stand-up dudes.
I really enjoyed it though. I hope they do more stuff like that. I just hope somebody's willing to have the balls to take the jokes. Cause like, I like the jokes. I wish people would do that kind of stuff more often.
I like what Frank says too, though, honestly, because when you can do it, cleanly and intelligently, it really kills more than going for the.
So I love Jim Gaffigan. Jim Gaffigan's so good.
Yeah.
And listen to Hannah Berner, but she's kind of gross. That's my girl.
We're at 7:09, Frank. We still got a little time, or?
Yeah, probably gotta be out of here in 8 or 9 minutes. I gotta go pick up my nephew from basketball practice.
Let's kind of
let's wrap it up.
What do you got going on here coming up? What's
we're gonna hit every library in the county this summer with educational programs.
Heck yeah! So
that all kicks off next Tuesday. So we'll be out. We're trying to go out and do research every Monday and Tuesday. So that's usually when we're out. This week being Memorial Day, it didn't make any sense to go out in the water on Memorial Day, so we kind of avoided that. But we're out quite a bit. There's so many.
It never ends.
So many things coming up. But you're right. Well, so that'll stop the end of July, and then football for me kicks off at the end of July. Coaching football again. So I coach tackle over at Maryland Christian. So that'll
like
kick off then.
Second or third year doing this? Fourth year?
This is my second year with tackle with them. With that school, and then I did flag for that school for 3 or 4 years also. But it's my second year with tackle for them. But I've coached tackle for probably on and off for 20-something years.
Okay.
Are you still going to announce games?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. I forgot all about that, but yes, that's coming up too.
We have a kid, Logan, that works in our office, and he announces basketball games and some football games too around here.
Oh yeah, I wonder where.
I think at Cocoa.
At Cocoa High.
I think so.
Really?
Cocoa High. Logan Pettit. I think that's his last name.
I thought the principal announced him over at Cocoa. Maybe
I could be wrong.
The principal backed off.
I know he does some basketball games. He announces. I'll have to find out.
Or she backed off.
I'm sure you guys probably know each other in some way.
Probably so.
But cool. What are you doing? You got to do a bunch of shirts tonight, don't you?
Yeah, I got to fold a bunch of shirts and then get them in the
I remember the
tomorrow.
days, man. Y'all remember I used to print shirts. I don't know if y'all know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, thank you though again, honestly, guys, so much for having me on here and
Yeah, man.
let me catch you all up on the stuff going on. And yeah, Gators in DC. That's a crazy contraption.
Yeah, that's kind of
New reality show.
I look forward to all this. I think this research for cancer, I think we're not even hitting it as hard as we could tonight.
Yep.
I think we could
It's
talk
a lot.
about it in more detail, but it was really cool. I watched a video you said, and they had the whales, and they were talking about like getting some of these chemical makes ups of these animals that can survive for a really long time, and learning how their DNA adjusts and changes, and what things are building up the building blocks of retaining their endurance and their age endurance, and what of like. These are also animals that have a low cancer rate and live for a very long time. So learning and studying that for that reason is the reason it's so important. Because if you can actually figure out and break those down, those chemical or those biomarkers that are helping sustain this animal to live a long time and not get cancer, and they can make a medicine on that to apply to a human. It's a code breaking for humans to live long enough to break that code genetically and breed it through.
Thank God you started this.
It's a cool thing.
Like
if you think about medical,
start it. Oh.
No doubt. If you think about medical stuff in general, and the way John described it in that video was perfect. You know, most everybody's looking underneath the light for things that are going on in the world of science. You know, as a man of faith, I believe things were placed here with a purpose.
Yep.
So typically your stuff with medical benefits are things that are a different color or a different smell, or something maybe you're not taking super maybe a notice of. And these long living apex predators that are out in the wild, out in this stuff all day long, especially when they have real close relations to the way we work inside. Mm-hmm. Why are we not looking at these things to see the medical benefits behind them? So now there's
a lot of things that our generations have tried, and some work and some are failing. The ones that are failing, we need to do new research on new ways. And there's a lot of very intelligent people out there that are actually trying these new ways. And the hardest thing for them to do is actually get funding to do it.
That's where we're at. And, man, it's tough. It is tough.
When you're going against, our engine here in America and how medical systems and things work. I mean, to me, it's one of the toughest situations in America right now is getting a good quality healthcare at a reasonable price. And insurance companies pretty much rule the roost on that now. And, just one thing I wanted to stay on before we start closing this up is you brought in Stell Bailey and Cindy together on an episode. I think that was like the second time you came in.
Yep.
And that's so cool. Estelle, I've been watching her on the city council meetings, and then like all her posts, and I watched her up there in the state of Florida, and she's in there just consistently, and she's being like, there's ways that you can be to people where they'll shut down on you. She's getting a dialogue with the city, and
she is,
that is like super respectful. And it's like back and forth to where when I'm watching it, it just feels better to watch this than when you see people come get their time and they just come up and hate on the councilman, just like we see in politics,
She's a very passionate, very brilliant woman.
Critiquing in a constructive teamwork, we got to do this together kind of way. And she's really good at doing that. And it's cool to see that. So congrats to her too. And she needs all the support she can get as well.
She is grinding. I know, I'm not sure how it is for them, but I know us, we're working on private donations alone. We don't have any.
She says she does a lot better than you do. That's what she was saying. She's a lot better, so that's all I heard.
We're all in the same grind together. You know what I mean? Trying to push.
She says she can answer your trivia like quickly every time.
I don't doubt that.
We need lots of lab gear, but we also need to improve our fleet, and one of those fleet items is a tricked out airboat.
Ooh.
So,
yep. We need one. We need a boat pretty bad.
Okay.
Pretty bad. Very badly we need a boat.
Okay.
That's the,
So,
the biggest tool we don't have right now that we need.
Scott,
Okay.
you got like 70 grand.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's got friends that know friends. I'm sure he can find somebody that's got an airboat. Just
Well, we got
Done.
the permit. And how long did it take to get that permit?
I think we worked on it for 3.5 years.
oh my.
And we got it. So the boat is next.
Okay. Well, awesome. Let's keep talking. Let's keep sharing this stuff. Let's shine light on these needs on a future episode.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank
Frank,
you.
Colleen,
Big love.
Sad, love you guys.
I love you.
For joining me tonight. I know we all had a lot going on. Love you.
Yep. Love you guys.
Woo.
That was tight.
Daisy's in a tube top, screaming from the top of her lungs. This all ends tonight. Daddy's on the floor, he's screaming for more, saying you're gonna be alright. Daisy's in a tube top, screaming from the top of her lungs. This all ends tonight. Daddy's on the floor, he's screaming for more, saying you're gonna be alright. Dude, that shit's killer. Oh, dude, that was awesome.